Both players see the writing on the wall here, Farah, in the finals.
What is going on, TCG enjoyers? I'm joined by a very special guest. We have the only player in Pokemon history to achieve the calendar slam, winning all 3 ICs in one season. We have Mr. Gabriel Fernandez. Gabriel, thank you so much for joining me again to break down your championship match. So you probably don't need much of an introduction, but you want to give a quick one?
Yeah. Hi everyone, what's up? And thank you, Ciaran, for having me again in your channel.
Awesome. Sweet. So we're going to break down your finals against Omar from NAIC. And I know it went the full 3 games and went the time, so I'm really excited to break it down with you. So I guess maybe the first question I want to ask you is, like, going into the matchup, where was your head at? Do you think Dragapult's a good matchup? Do you think it's a close matchup? What were you strategizing like the night before, trying to come up with some strategies? Or I assume you had some strategies prepared, like going into the tournament.
So I did play a lot of this matchup going into the tournament. It felt like okay. I did 3-0 in my test pool Dusk, so I know it wasn't like unfavorable, but it really came down to the last turns on the test, so it wasn't like 100% favorable. But I had some like strategies, like the Pheasant DPD attack was something I already knew was good in this matchup, and I knew I had to kill like Dusknoirs and Dusknoirs, so I wouldn't get blown up my whole board in a match like this. In Swiss, I faced 2 pool Dusks. I beat one 2-0, and I lost the other one 2-1. But the one I lost to was my second round of the phase 2. Yeah, round 9. Round 9, I lost to Justin. I won game 1 in a pretty close game, 30-minute game, and then game 2, I go first, KG pass, and then I just lost. So in game 3, I had a pretty good board. I went second. I got like Mander, PG, Cleffa for 7. But then on that Cleffa, I drew nothing. Not a Brock, not a Pidgeot, no Evo, no Arvin, like nothing. Just an Iono, and then I Iono'd him into nothing again. No outs for my Evos, and then he already had like triple Dragapult set up, so I couldn't do anything in that game 2 and 3. But overall, like the game, I did drew at least something to play. I did win, so like I said, the matchup isn't the best, but it is a little bit favored for the Zard.
Yeah, I mean, you had some really cool cards in your deck. I think this is a very unique Charizard deck, right? So you had the Max Belt as your ace spec. That's a card I feel like we haven't seen in a long time. You also have like the Monkey Dory. So with the Monkey Dory and the Max Belt, you can actually knock out Dragapult and they only take 2 prizes. So is that kind of one of the reasons you put the Max Belt and the Monkey in your deck? Was it for matchups like Dragapult?
So I was testing earlier with Zard. I wasn't playing Belt. I was playing Stamp, and I was playing also Rabsca to stop pull, but I felt like the deck needed something. Like I wasn't getting the KOs too much. There wasn't Dusknoirs, and I didn't really want to play Dusknoirs with Zard in this format. It just felt kind of weak. So I was planning to play a Raging Bolt on the Masters Cup on Wednesday, and then I went to search for the cards at my house, and then I was looking for like Bolt, Ogre Pawn. I saw Max Belt, and I was like, this might be interesting. I feel like this is a good card. And I started testing, and it just really felt great because it isn't really only for Poot as well. Grimmsnarl is a match that Monkey Max Belt really puts in work. And Poot is great too. You do lose like a little bit with the stamp on other matchups, like Gardevoir, you don't really use the Max Belt. A Raging Bolt stamps better, but I feel like the matchups you need more is the Grimmsnarl and Pool, so Max Belt was really good. And the Monkey is there to remove damage and also amplify that 30+, which really helps.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, this is a super cool innovation here. So is there any matchups with this deck you didn't want to hit? Like, what are some of your matchups you're like, oh, these are a little shaky, or I don't like, or it's bad for me?
So Jolted Box is, I think it's close to auto loss. If he plays Galvantula, I don't really see how you win this match. my plan was like Chiyu, because you can't really get ahead on that matchup. It's really hard to get ahead in the matchup because of how fast their deck is. So they're normally going to take 2 prize cards first, and then you'll KO them back. And then if they go eventually, you I was gonna like Iono to 2 and KO with Chiyu, and maybe like he only has a Pikachu setup, and then he doesn't want to like KO the Chiyu with that and bop all 3 energies. So I think that is still really bad matchup because he will find boss one time, and I can't really KO Pikachu in 1 hit. He also has leaves, but besides that, not really that many matchups I didn't want to hit. I think that was the only one I didn't want to hit. Pult, I was okay. Guardy was okay. Grims is really favorable. Grims now. Bolt is really favorable with Chiyu. And there was also some surprise factor of the max belt because the Pult I did beat in Swiss. He had 4 prize cards, and then he just punched my Zard. He only had 1 Pult, and then I Arvin for max belt energy search monkey, and then body his foot, and he just insta scoop. It was fun. But yeah, I think Joltik is close to auto loss, but besides that, deck is really favorable into the other matchups.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, this was a really cool deck from the weekend. I'm curious to see if this deck rises in the meta after you doing well with it. So,
yeah, there was like 2 cards I wanted to put in. I wanted to put a Mist energy because Mist really helps against Guardy on the 60 confused of the monkey. And I faced 2 Guardies, and he just like every time I attacked the Zard, he was gonna monkey 60 confused. So the Mist was just really good into that, and was okay against Poop. But I felt like a more consistent build like this one was better.
Okay. Actually, the one picnic basket is this for Grimmsnarl. Do you think like this like pushes you over the edge in the Grimmsnarl matchup? Do you think you could win without it?
Yeah. The plan with that picnic basket is boss, frostless, and then basket. So you heal their damage and yours. So it is mainly for Grims, but it's really good against Guardy and Poot sometimes. I faced the Guardy with Devolution, and then he had like a bunch of damage on my Zard, both Zards and my both Pidgeots. And then I Arvin for basket, and his face when I basket was like really good because it just healed almost everything I needed.
Nice. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. It had like use cases across like everything. So, all right, let's jump into the games then. We'll start here with the game 1. This is the nice flex on your player card that you get to have 3 IC championships already and the World Championship. And I mean, Omar's is also really good. He got top 4 at Honolulu Worlds last year as well. So probably definitely very skilled players here. All right, we'll start here with the prizes. You prize both your counter catchers at the top, which is basically means you don't get to use them the whole game.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to use both boss. Otherwise, I don't think anything too crazy is prized for either of you. After
Yeah,
that.
I think it's a fine matchup to prize both catchers. I think this one is one that I don't really use because I want to get ahead on prize cards.
Yep.
But if it was like a Raging Bolt or a Guardy, that was really gonna hurt.
Yes, I agree. For sure. Jump into it. Okay, so you obviously lost the coin flip because I see you going first here. So when I was watching some of your games, like you would get like double Pidgeot some games. Is that something like you prioritize, like setting up both your Pidgeots if you can, or do you think like you just need one most of the time?
So in my tests, I wasn't really going for double Pidgeot, but while I was like playing with the deck, the more I played, I was like, I think double Pidgeot here is really good, and it just stops some plays and gets me a checkmate board where there's not really an option. Okay, I'm gonna KO your Pidgeot and Iono and hope you don't draw that card. So double Pidgeot was like a plan in a match like that, and also like start PG. I would need energy on the bench, energy on the active, so I would evo. So I really needed to get that second peach down.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like when I play Grimmsnarl, sometimes I start Snorunt. It's like the most annoying thing ever because if I want to evo to a Frostlass, I have to mention another one. I'm just gonna check. Okay, so you go for the double Charmander. I guess this matchup too, it's a bit of a slower matchup, so you don't necessarily need second Pidgey right away. And here, this is interesting. So you put the monkey down with an Artisan. Are you ever worried about giving your opponent Artisan, or are you just like you wanted to prioritize your setup?
I was worried with giving them the Artisan, but knowing Pult is their main supporter is Iono, and you know they're gonna Butter you. Like if they can, they are going to use Butter in this matchup. So benching Artisan here was like better for me than just for him to use to get a Pokemon.
Yeah, and then I saw you there using Energy Search, but you for a fire, but you attached a Dark. So that's kind of just playing around the Bidoof, right? So that you'd have one to use TME.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so yeah, having the Dark Energy just makes like a lot better to just bench the Artisan. Having Monkey down turn 1, you don't need to worry to find that later on the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just establishing, especially since you only play the one Dark, is super nice for sure. Alright, we'll skip Omar's prize check as well. Okay, gets his Bidoof off the Artisan. I mean, this is like a pretty standard Dragapult turn 1. I think him missing Duskull or missing Poppin is actually really nice for you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Okay. So, kind of like when you're playing here, like, are you trying to like take it slow? Like, if you had Rare Candy Charizard, would you do it, or do you think it's just you'd rather just play slow, evolve to Pidgeot while you can like do TME?
I mean, if he didn't go for Budu, and I had Candy Zard or Candy Pidgeot, I was gonna go for it for sure. But here, especially like you said, he didn't have Duskull on board, and I knew he didn't play Candy, so he was gonna bench Dusk and then Dusclops, so what wasn't really gonna be a fast start for him as well. So I could take it slower. Artisan for the PJ here, and then I had TM Evo and Fire Energy in hand, and just set up my board cleanly.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I think just recognizing when your opponent has a slow start and that you have time to kind of like also play slow is like good, especially I think for your deck where it's like definitely like just a strong late game deck once you get everything going. So here you're debating the second Pidgey, and is this kind of like you're a bit worried because Pidgey only has 60 health, so it can get Phantom Dived? So
Yeah,
why
I mean,
was the Pidgey the right play?
yeah, I thought about like retreating this Pidgey into the Monk, and then Evo, and just have that only Pidge. But I think it's fine to do this because I think it's if I had like an Energy on a Mander, maybe I would do that. But I also prized a Charmeleon. So I think retreating to Monk here feels really bad. I don't want to have that Monkey in the active, especially if I don't attack next turn. I'd rather have a PG than a Monkey Dory in my active.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because you'd have to like retreat the monkey, or you'd have to give it a fire to retreat, and then like we're wasting energies.
Yeah.
The dark. One question I have for you: so you play one of each Charmeleon. Like, let's say the other one wasn't prized. Do you go for the 100 one first, or do you go for like the Flare Veil one first when you evolve?
So that was like in some games, there's always that thought, like Raging Bolt. I wanna do that Charmeleon first because the 100 one, with Max Out can KO a pawn. So that is an attacker as well. And in this one, I feel like this, if I had the 100 HP one, I was gonna go for that one instead with my hand because I have Zard in my hand. And then I'm good. Like, I evolve, and then the next Charmeleon I have can't take damage in the bench. So if I had the 100 HP one in deck as well, with that one, I was gonna evo that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so it kind of just depends on the matchup, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, like, I feel now like for your opponent, like it's probably just like he has to just set up again, I guess, this turn. If he, I think his ideal board is like Dray Cloaks. Each of them have an energy in case you get boss next turn. Get the Duskulls down.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the ideal board for him.
All right, so he's gonna get the Dray Cloak here. Already got. And he's gonna Artisan, probably get a Duskull here now. I don't know, he goes for another Dreepy. Does he not have a Duskull?
I don't. I do think he has a Duskull or both
maybe?
in hand.
Okay, he has one in hand. Okay, nice. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like for Omar, like he should go for a second GP here, or do you think it's like, more important to establish more Duskulls?
I think he definitely should have gone for Duskle because when you don't take prize cards, like I don't play Dusknoir, so I'm not gonna knock the Pult out. So you have time to build your 3 piece in bench. Uh, and I don't think he knew my plan was just going after the Duskulls early game until he take prize cards. But if he is a Duskull and then next turn he sets up like Pult and then double Dusclops, I think he had the better board state. So it was definitely a misplay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, cause like the one weakness of Charizard is like you're limited by like how many prizes your opponent takes. Like they get to control that.
I don't know if was like Dusclops prized this game.
Actually, I think
Also
one
not
was
sure.
prized, but I mean you could still go like
Yeah.
Dusclops and Stretcher or something.
Yeah, because still like if you the Dusclops prized, I also don't know that. And when you bench one, I could think the other one is in deck. He didn't just find it. So
yeah. Okay, so now I see your hand. So you have Charizard. You're missing the Pidgeot. So what are you thinking this turn? Is it like, are you like, do you want to start attacking? Is it like the thing where you want to wait? How do you normally approach like a situation like this? Like, are you okay with sometimes letting your opponent get the first hit on Charizard?
I top decked Arvin here, and then I went straight for Zard to see if the second Evo was in deck. I did check all the 6 prize cards, but like sometimes you miss them.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna Zard to check it. I was gonna Zard anyway after the Arvin. If I don't top deck Arvin, I was gonna Iono him, and then hopefully I'll draw the Pidgeot. But if I don't drop Pidgeot here, I'm never going for the attack because I knew he played on first stamp, and then you don't want to KO him without your board established, and you're gonna get stamped. It's just gonna be really bad, right? You have like a Zard. He can even go like Dusclops KO your Pidgeotto. So if I had the Pidgeot, if I drew it off the Iono, sure, maybe the KO was fine. But with the top deck Arvin here, I think it's just better to play slowly. Let me set up the Pidgeot and another Pidgeotto.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then when you do the Munkidori to the Dracloak, so you were considering Badoo and then you switched it to Dracloak. So what's the idea with putting it on Dracloak?
He only had 1 cloak of energy. Maybe if he had 2, I was gonna put it in Badoo. I didn't really want to leave damage on his board because I knew he played Monk. And I was reviewing the match. He did prize Monk this game, but I don't really know, right? So I gotta play like I should. And then this 2 in the cloak makes like if he attacks with Venom Dive, leave damage in board, that goes to 5. And then once he has taken 4 prize cards, right, if he has 2, he took 2 prize cards, is down to 4. I can max out Monk, live with 5, and then knock it out. So that 2 helps out a bit for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Because Badoo, you don't really care that much about. You can knock this out later, right?
Because also, this 2 helps if he Phantom Dives knocks something out, and he'll probably not leave anything with 3 damage counters on my bench. So I need that 2 to make sure like just 1 damage counter on that Pult with my Adrenaline Brain and Max Out is gonna get the knockout.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. So kind of just preemptively getting it ready to be knocked out. And then I guess making Pidgeotto is nice too because it takes like a target like off the board for later in the game. And now like even if Pidgeot gets targeted, like you're gonna have another Pidgeotto.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if the Charmeleon wasn't deck, I was gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Because if he KOs PG here, it kind of didn't matter. It was actually kind of good, right? Because he's down to 4, and that's what I want my opponent to be at. But establishing the Pidgeotto here is really good too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I don't really know for Omar what the best play is now, because then if you attack with Dragapult now, like you're just gonna get like punched by Zard. You can only take 1 prize, I think, without like walking into getting knocked out, like you were saying, by the Charizard max belt play.
Yeah.
And now that you have Pidgeot set up, like you can just quick search for bosses now and like take down the Dragapults. Or the Dracloaks, sorry, if they don't get evolved.
Yeah.
I guess, is there a world maybe where Omar, he has Counter Catcher, he could pop Dusclops and Counter Catcher? Like, does he maybe like try and hit your Charizard first so that he can two-shot it? Or do you think that's like still like a losing play?
I think if he had pulled energy in hand, I think it's fine to go like Dusclops, Counter Catcher, and then punch my Zard. I think that's okay. Especially with me not having a Charmeleon in the bench, then it's really hard for me to two-row and set up another Zard. But with that hand, he had a double catcher. He didn't really have pulled energy, so it's not guaranteed he was going to try it. I think it's fine to play it like this.
Okay, and just till he's ready to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I'm thinking about like now is like the initiative goes to you, so if you want to gust his Dragapult, for example, like now you get to hit before he hits you. So when you're in a situation like this, are you like, oh, like do I need to hit Dragapult, or do you always try and wait until you can like cleanly one-shot like the Dragapult?
With him having Dusclops in board, I think it's better just to go with the Dusclops. If it was double Dusco, maybe attacking Poop was better. Because he could play into a board state where he's just not gonna take prize cards and then wants to board wipe me. But he has the Dusclops, so it's always that target I'm gonna go with. Here, I do the quick search for another Pidgeot, just because I didn't really need anything. If there was the Charmeleon in that was for sure the target in that quick search, but there wasn't. So I had the boss in hand already. There wasn't really much else I needed. I also knew like if it wasn't prized, I was gonna get stamped. So whatever card I grabbed that wasn't like going to be played this turn was going back to the deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you have to take out the Dusclops, I guess, especially with the knowledge that your opponent doesn't play Rare Candy. Guarantees your Charizard survives. And here with the monkey, who are you considering? So Dragapult's probably one, then who are some other targets that you could put the damage on?
Thought about Budu, thought about just the active, but since there is the 20 already, there's already damage in board, so that 3 that he was gonna move with monkey and a 2, it's not really a big difference when I have a Pidgeot like set up, because if I only had 1, he could go Dusclops, move 3 with monkey, and then KO with an unfair stamp. But after that second Pidgeot was established, there wasn't really a worry of that. So just completing that 10 damage, like I said, to fix the math on the knockout on Poot.
Yeah, it's really nice because if he takes 2 prizes this turn, just max belt and then bam, gone. You can draw Arvin, you can quick search. You're in a good spot. Like from here, like, do you just feel like you're in complete control? Like, do you even like feel like a little bit worried about like Omar's board, or do you just think like you've gotten yourself to like such a strong position it's gonna be hard for him to come back?
I felt a little bit worried because of not having that Charmeleon in play. Because if he punches me here, I needed to draw either boss or basket in this, because I went to kill Dusclops and not get board wiped. Because if I don't draw either one of those, and then it punches 200, punches my Charmander, he could go a Dusclops Demander that hasn't damage, and then I move 3, then there's 3 and 5, and then Lucha makes 4 and 6, and then he board swipe me, and I cut the Ursaluna, so I'm not playing Ursaluna in this list, and a board wipe was just gonna win him this game. So I needed either basket or a boss, and I did end up drawing boss on the first step. Maybe Turo was also a play. Like if I got the Turo plus Candy, but I already had 2 energies in this card, I believe, so I needed Turo, Candy, Rod, which was a bit harder.
Yeah, that makes sense. the power of the picnic basket in like a matchup that's not Grimmsnarl, which is cool. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you had Charmeleon, like this wouldn't be an issue at all. Like you're saying, it has more health. You can just preemptively evolve with the Charizard.
Especially if it was the 90 HP Charmeleon with the ability.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just keep it safe. Here comes the stretcher, so I guess Omar's probably gonna get the Dusclops again. Yep. Yeah, I think the Dusclops, like, they put pressure on you pretty much, like, every turn. Like, when he's threatening to make them into Dusknoirs. There's now, if you're like Omar, like, how do you spread the damage? Like, what's the most annoying thing for you? Like, way he could spread it?
I think 6 on the Mander was fine, because that also plays around basket. Like, if it splits 3 and 3, the basket's just gonna, like, heal up my whole board. So I think 6 here on the Mander's the best play he can do.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually, playing on the basket. Did Omar know you played basket? I assume he must have known by now. But...
I think he knew, but I'm not really sure, because he did read the card. But I think he knew, because he did say he had tested against my deck the day before, and there was a senior player who played with my list that I posted in Metafight that was like 59, like that one I played. So they basically knew my whole list.
Oh, that makes
going
sense.
into the match.
I guess the one thing with Picnic Basket, it actually heals all the damage you were putting on his Dragapult, but I guess you can just Monkey first and then it stays the same thing.
I think it's also just fine to heal the damage, because if he does have the Monkey still in deck, it can move off, and then that's like pretty good for him. Can he? And then like if there was damage on board, I think he could do the board wipe still. With Monkey, just Monkey, Clops, and Lucha. And with his Monkey, it's basically like a dead basket. So healing his damage was actually a crucial part as well.
Okay.
Well, what I was debating here was like, do I move the damage to the Budu and get that prize card? But I felt like there was no reason to move it like that turn, because I knew I played Luxgate, but I played Jamming Tower. So there was no reason to just like draw one less card off an Iona.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, yeah, Voodoo isn't going anywhere. And it takes up a bench spot on his bench, which is actually kind of annoying for him right now. Yeah. Yeah, so you got the boss, nice. And then he prized the other one, yeah, so we'd have to stretcher this again, I guess, if you want to keep getting it back. Yeah, I guess he is in an awkward spot next turn where if he knocks you out, and you can get another Charizard, you are ready to knock him out. But it's not guaranteed, I guess, that you get a knockout next turn. What do you think here?
Yeah, that was what I was debating. Like, do I need to kill this Budu now?
I guess if he goes... Well, if he goes Phantom Dive and he puts 2... Like, he doesn't put 3 on one of your Pokemon, can you for sure knock out the Dragapult next turn?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Like, if he takes 2 next turn, right? So with Max Belt, you're doing 290. And then... Is there a way to knock out Dragapult next turn, then? If he, like, spreads the damage, he doesn't put all of it on...
No. I mean, I could Turo double Monkey. But, yeah, no way to knock it out. And I believe what he should have done here is spread the damage, and he will. Just 2/2/2 is fine. Yeah, because then I can't knock out Pooh, and both of my boss are gone, so I can't KO his Dusclops. That's gonna set up this turn. So that's why I knew, like, in this moment, I needed to figure out, like, what am I gonna do? Because hitting Pooh is really, really weak, especially when he's down to 4 prize cards, and it's basically a missed opportunity of a knockout. And then, like, he has 4, I have 4, but he's able to take 4 prize cards like much easier than I am. So I needed to think of what I'm gonna do here, and then I figured out, like, I needed to fast knock out the Dusclops, right? So,
Mhm.
but I was gonna have to like waste 3 energies and also candy Zard,
Hmm.
and there was not gonna be an energy attached. So I needed like a bunch of pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess the only thing I would think about is like, yeah, it's like if you could have put Dragapult at 6 last, or no, you would have had 3 with the because of Picnic Basket. But then I guess like you were saying earlier, if he has Monkey, then you're gonna really, it's like really annoying.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can get board wiped actually. That is kind of funny though. Like Fez is like the best play if you can get Fez. The
Yeah,
Charizard deck.
and against Grinch now is also really good hitting with fast. In asymmetrical cut, I faced one, and then I took 4 prize cards with fast, and then my opponent just like didn't know what to do because I wasn't like wasting balls. I just turned 2 like candies are attached 3 to fast, knock out the frostless.
That's funny. Nice. Yeah, I one of my games I say I lost because my opponent was using Fez on me too. I prized 2 Impidimp, and I only had 1, and he just like kept Fezzing my Impidimp. I could never set up. Yeah. And then 2, 2, 2. Nice. And yeah, for everyone watching, the reason you don't want to put more than 2 on a Pokemon is because then you go Max Belt plus Monkey. That's 320 exactly. With Max Belt plus Monkey, we're only doing a 310 this turn. Did you need Super Rod this turn to get the knockout with the Fez? Yeah, right? Because
So here if I hit a fast Zard Iono, I was debating do I fast first or do I Iono? But since I had Zard in hand, I just needed a Candy Arvin or a Rod to find in that fast. So bench fast here and hope I draw one of those pieces in that flip the script.
Good sequencing there for sure. I think I agree with you because you play Iono,
Yeah.
it takes away Arvin's Note as well.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
whiffed,
And then I
unfortunately.
just nothing on the fast, but I mean the Iono
That's pretty
is
good.
really Candy Rod Belt. That was insane. Just missed the energy attachment to Zard.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could trade Ultra Ball for an energy, that'd be like the perfect hand. But yeah, you can't complain with that.
Yeah.
And then I guess so obviously we're going for the Fez here. With your Monkey, like who do you think is the best to heal? Is it gonna be like the Charmander? Is it the Monkey? Is it the Charizard?
Definitely the minute I don't evolve.
Yeah.
Definitely that one, because I need the energies right after display. So here with the miss of energy, what I was really worried of him doing was CC, a Pidgeot or anything, and then Lucha, the Faz and Charmander, and then boss it back, KO both things. But that was like his counterplay to this one. And after this one, like if he just punches the Faz as well, I do have the Turo, but I need an energy, right? So if he just punches and not knock out anything, I guess it's fine because I already have 1 candy down. So using another candy, and I only have like 1 energy, and that could be awkward too. So I think just punching, or if he had the option to counter catch your boss Lucha, which I reviewed that, and my brother said, oh, he like Dracloak to CC, Dracloak to boss, and he had that play available to him, and he just didn't do it. I don't know if he didn't see it or he didn't want to do it, because if you have that option, I think it's 100% that play. Because I don't have any counterplays for that. I have 3 prizes. Even if I play Luna, what am I gonna do with Luna? You have 1 prize card, I have 3. There's like nothing I can do there, right? So the miss of the energy does make that play from him a game winning play, I guess.
You don't think you have any counterplay if he does that? Could you like maybe like attach to Charizard and like I don't know him to like 1 and then just pass Pidgeot? But
that was probably what I was gonna do, like just attach to the Zard and push the Pidgeot. But the thing is, he has double Dragapult, and he can just he will use a boss this turn, but he'll still have one, right? So he can. It's really easy for him to find that other boss in a later turn.
That makes sense. Okay, so I saw there on the first recon there was a boss in the top 2 cards. I didn't see exactly which one he picked. And then a counter catcher. I guess he doesn't have the knowledge that he's gonna rip counter catcher.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see what the other card
he did take
was as well, but
he did take counter catcher boss actually. He had the play you're describing.
I think that was the worst misplay of the matchup.
Yeah, I mean that's a really hard play to see because I feel like that almost never comes up. But you're right. Like that probably like completely swings the tide of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why you're the IC.
And in my mind, I'm like, yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, does he have counter catcher boss? Oh, and then he just luchas here to the mid. That's a big relief, right? And like I said, if you're gonna punch fast, I don't think Lucha here is correct. Even though he can Candy Zard, I need like Candy Zard. I have like 3 cards in hand, and then I can't fast. It's not that easy, right? And I only have 1 energy in deck. There's already a Rod gone, so I think knocking out this Mander was also a misplay if you're just gonna punch fast.
Yeah, I mean, one other thing I was thinking about when I was watching this game is that you were at 3 prizes. So it's like the other problem with punching Fez is it leaves like more than 3 damage in play. So you can just knock out Bidoo and then attach to Charizard. And it feels like you pretty much checkmate him from that position. Yeah, like even if he let's say he didn't have boss, he just had counter catcher. Like I feel like maybe you just like counter catcher like even like the Dory and like knock out Charmander.
Knock out Mander and Monkey. Yeah, this play like I think he thought like, okay, then I just boss Monkey and KO both. I know, but that still seems like a really big turn from him, where there was like many better plays available.
Yeah, I mean maybe his read was like he can read that you don't have an energy in your hand because you would have attached it last turn. So maybe he's like, oh, if you have to go for quick search for Turo, hopefully you don't have an energy.
Yeah,
that might have been his read if I had to guess. Like,
I think if that was the read, you just never KO the Mander because that gives me flip the script, right?
That's true, actually. Yeah.
If you're just gonna punch fast it, I don't think you should knock out the Mander.
That's true, actually. Yeah, because then it gives you 3 draws to hit Stretcher, to hit Turo,
hit. And then I script into the Luminous Energy.
And then I think after this turn, what you're about to do, like it's I think pretty much impossible for him to come back.
I also think benching Mander here was misplay because if he did have like double Stretcher, double Buddle in this card, but if he catchers my Mander and Buddle lock me until he can't win with Buddle lock, right? But if he attaches like Luckscape into Buddle, and then I can't kill Monk as well until he set up like a Dusknoir and Dusknoir, right?
That's true.
I think should have benched here Commander because he was already checkmate with the Luminous Energy in hand.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that just opens up the 1 win condition. Did you not? How many energy did you have left? Would you have had enough to like retreat the Charmander and then attack, or no?
No, I only had 1. So
actually, I guess the other thing is you don't have boss left either. Actually, so you wouldn't be able to gust. Yeah.
Yeah. And from now it's just like it's checkmate. I don't know if he had enough resources to like do that Stretcher for Budu and then set up a Dusknoir because he had, like you said, I saw double Stretcher and double Budu in this card.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, this game is basically over from here. There's not much he can do. Yeah, it was basically this game 1 was summed up to that play that he didn't do on the last turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like such a small play like that, the difference between winning and losing. Like this, the order you play Halucha.
Yeah, and I think Unfair Stamp is like really the worst ace spec for me with Zard to face, because when you attack and then you can only quick search for one card. If you like quick search for Ayano, you don't have anything guaranteed, right? But facing Neil Whopper and Crystal was better too.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you attach the max belt preemptively, I guess, because like there's no way for him to like get rid of it.
Yeah, no vacuum anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it matters which Pidgeot you pass with, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know.
I think it was just like if he's 70s with Dragapult, my Pidgeot, and then boss.
Okay.
Like yeah, maybe something like that, but.
Yeah, I think in this position, I don't know what Omar can do. Like you said, I think it's just the Bidoof play, which actually might have worked if he was able to get all the way to.
I think it might have worked, but I think he only plays Tree Stretcher, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so he can't get Dusclops, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think his Dusclops second one's still in the prizes. So.
Yeah. If it was in the deck, I think that might have been the play, but the Butter Lock, it wasn't there. And then
he has. I can't really. Oh.
To be honest, if I'm him here, I would just scoop, because the time rules does go in my advantage in this matchup. And I mean, he just played like 5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trying to figure out something.
Yeah, actually, this game one was really long.
My turn.
Yeah.
This is.
We're already 35 minutes in, pretty much. Yeah, he has to be okay. Yeah, just returning pass pretty much. And then, are you just comfortable here, just taking the prize on it? Like you feel like there's no way for that to get punished?
Yeah, I mean, I also top that candy here, so I was just gonna like set up double Zari.
And then you have another rod. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the big thing with the Bidoof lock, is it would have blocked this rod to get all the energies back.
Exactly.
And yeah, you can even attack with the one that doesn't have max belt right now. Yeah, so it's like.
Yeah, it's basically a red. I mean, you could have just scooped right now too. It's just like taking time off the clock, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe he thought that he was favored in like going to time, maybe since he has the Duskull line. So that might have been his thought process there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember like the Atlanta finals when like Hedrick was basically not scooping against Henry Chow. Like so, I talked to Henry about like if he ever thought about going aggro, and he's like, looking back, I maybe should have. Because the time rules in Top Cut are like kind of weird. Not weird, but they're just like different than normal. So yeah, he eventually scoops there because I think he realizes the writing's.
It's just like, it was 42 minutes. Now it's 38, right? So it just took 4 minutes off the clock. If his read is like, okay, I'm favored into the time rules, sure, but I think he's not. I mean, he does have the Dusclops line, but that gives me a prize card, right? So
yeah.
And this matchup, it can't really go aggro. It's better for him to not take prize cards in that until he like board swipe me. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. Sure. I guess too, because for you have TM Evo and you have Candy Zard, so it's just easier for you to take a prize faster than him. Yeah. Nice. All right, so let's skip to the second game here. So I guess for you, ever like, are you okay if like the game goes to time in this one? Like you're okay like if game 3 starts in sudden death?
Yeah, I mean, here I knew there was like 35 minutes, and I know like if I lose this game, it's going basically to that time rules unless like it's a fast game. Yeah, you almost mean to nothing, right? So I'm just pop in here, price basket. Pricing boss is also like really bad. One card I was also wanted to add I was debating about Powpat and Third Boss.
Mhm.
I feel like Third Boss is better. Because when you're prize one, there are matchups which is really bad, which is Grimm's, Guardy, and a Poot. You really want to have that double boss. But yeah, and it does like end up mattering in this match, not having that boss available to me when I need it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of talked about it, right? You're playing from ahead in this matchup. So like, yeah, you're gonna use boss a lot more often than you're gonna use have the opportunity to use counter catcher. Is that Poffin you're using? Is that a champion buddy Poffin?
I don't know. I know I had like 2 from LAIC. Oh, it was 2 from LAIC, 1 from UIC. I don't know if it was champion though. It might have been just like the normal ones.
The normal one, yeah. That'd be a flex if you play with the champion pop. I mean, you have 3 now, so you can play with 3 champion Poffins. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice. There was a guy who got second at Worlds, and he used to use, when Tropical Beach was a good card, he used to always use his finalist Tropical Beach. It was like always a huge flex. Yeah. And I think Yuho used his like champion Ultra Ball whenever he played too, which was always kind of cool. But I mean, I guess the card's probably worth a lot more in PSA 10 condition than if you were full.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you basically have the exact same start as like the last game, actually, without the monkey, I guess.
Yeah. Started PG again, right? So just mention that second one, but this time no darkness energy. So just opting to go with the PG first.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because then if you drop Pidgeotto, you can Evo into double Charmeleon. Yeah.
I think I prized $1 million in that.
Actually, I remember you did prize one.
I think this one was the prize, the 90 HP one. Yeah.
Yeah, prize boss, 90 HP. Okay.
So like pricing million is also really bad in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean we saw that in the first game, like how hard it was for you to like get a backup, or you had to like basically play around getting board wiped the whole game, right? I guess yeah, same thing like the art.
Oh,
go ahead.
I also thought like maybe move 10 with Monkey next turn and KO with I don't know what speechy
Gust
attack name Gust. But if I draw Evo or Cleffa, it's probably better to not get stamped with just double PGs.
Yeah. I think you probably lose if you get stamped without a Pidgeot. I mean, I guess you could like rip a good card, but it's kind of hard. So, all right, yeah. This time Omar gets turn 1 Dusknoir, which I think is a huge difference from the last game. Like it should be a lot easier for him to get to Dusknoir this game than it was in the first one. Okay. So now you're getting the monkey out here. So on this turn, is this just like you're like, I hope I have TM Evo type of thing? Just because there's like the video on you?
Yeah. My hand was like Brock, Left Puff, S. And some other cards I don't remember. I knew I had like Cleffa because my hand was really poor.
Okay. So then you prioritize here the Pidgeotto over Charmeleon. Is that just because you just feel like Pidgeot's just more important than Charizard in order of getting them set up?
Yeah, I mean, just gotta get that Pidgeot going first, then we get the Charizards.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because if you get Pidgeot next turn, then you can just like get Charmeleon off Pidgeot if you really want to. And like you were saying, you're kind of talking about the getting what's it called? Why am I blanking? The wait, what was I gonna say? I can't remember what I was gonna say. But getting unfair stamped. If you don't have Pidgeot, getting unfair stamped is really bad. Yeah.
Also, like he does a pretty big display and he doesn't get punished. He attaches 2 energies, a single cloak. And it's like you said, like just attach 1 energy to each cloak, be safe, you know. Because he's gonna battle. There's not a Charizard threat, but I do have that 1 energy on the Pidgeotto, so I can always just go like attach to Pidgeot and boss that cloak, and if I had it, I was gonna do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like now he has that one cloak, uses Wrecking Directive, it's stamp, and then Arvin's like here, Arvin for Ultra Ball, and then there's just no reason to attach his energy to that cloak with the energy already attached, right? Should just go split
Yeah.
into both.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see Blustery Wind a lot, but yeah, you're right. Pidgeot has an attack. It probably just slipped his mind that Pidgeot can attack. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, you probably just want to split the energies.
Yeah. In my top 8 matchup, I was playing against Gardevoir, and like I said, the 60 confused is really annoying. So all 3 games, my first and second attack was with Blistery Wind. It's just many people are like, oh, this Charizard deck, no Dusknoir, he just has one attacker that is sorry, but you have a bunch, right? You have Pidgeot, you have Fast, you just gotta know when to do it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so he actually hit the fire off of the recon. Okay, yeah, yeah. I guess he had psychic too, so you probably just psychic.
Attach the psychic to the other one, right?
Yeah. So you have Pidgeot, but you don't have energy or boss. Okay, so yeah, so if you had it, you would just go for that. Because yeah, I guess that just buys you like a full turn because he doesn't play Neo Upper as his A-spec.
Mm-hmm.
And I think similar to the first game, you're just like getting the Dragcloak ready to be into range to be knocked out more easily.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so what are you thinking now on this turn? So obviously you can't Charizard because you got Itchy Pond. So when you play an Arvin here, are you getting ready for the next turn?
Yeah, I was gonna go Evo, but I the Million, right? So I could have went a quick search for Million, and then Evo, the Pidgeot, and another Million. But I didn't have that option, so just got a candy in case he goes for Poot next turn, and Evo just to attach, and then quick search to the Charmeleon. Like at this point, I'm fine, but there is like the normal play from Putas, which is Dusclops, Counter Catcher, KO both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he has that option, he definitely should do it.
I mean, I guess, do you ever keep in mind that he has like 2 cards and then you're like, the odds of it are kind of low? Is that something you're thinking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he played Arvin as the supporter last turn as well, so I know his hand isn't that great. Yeah, he hits Iono off this Wrecking Directive, and there wasn't really much I could have done, even if like his hand was big. I didn't have the other Million, right? So just quick search into that one, and then Cleffa for some cards.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think if he gets that, it's like really difficult for you to come back. Well, there's Ultra Ball, so just... But he doesn't have...
So he has the play available, right? He has Catcher, he has a Stretcher because...
So Dragapult in the discard?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Dragapult or Dusknoir.
He has one.
I know
he
has one.
Okay.
Yeah, even Ultra Ball is a catcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, grab Dusclops. So he had the play available. I don't know what was he scared of. Like if he did that play, I was just gonna go like a Rod Evo the Million. Just do it again. But then he had like for prize cards, board more established, could get 2 more that turn. Mm-hmm. So he definitely should have done it.
Yeah, I guess he can also, if he has boss, he can go boss plus Hawlucha on Charmander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do it again, right?
Yeah, yeah. This gives you, I think, just like the turn you need to like make a not unkillable board, but like a strong board.
Yeah, and then he just goes Budo again, and it's basically the same thing. I have boss, I just quick search for Zard here, and then boss the Dusclops.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Because yeah, I guess he doesn't play Candy, so now like you can just like stop the chain. But I mean, I guess you prizing the second boss is going to come into effect here because you, and the Charmeleon, because you can't get the next guy ready. I think I saw you put an energy on the Pidgeot. Is that kind of like just recognizing that your Charmeleon's prize can be hard to get the next attacker?
Yeah. Just attacking with Pidgeot here makes more sense because also if he goes like punch, it's better than him punching Zard, and he has a catcher down that he just Ultra Ball. So if he wants to catcher, my Zard is fine, but then it's another Gust down, right? And with the million prizes, like you said, if he goes for a board wipe, especially that one thing is different from this board than the last games is that there's a Cleffa instead of another Mander, so I need to have an attacker ready. So if he gets that board wipe, I can just like catcher Duskull or Dusclops that he has set up and Blistery win.
Yeah, this is nice. The power of Pidgeot. I mean, he has Unfair Stamp and Counter Catcher now, but like, yeah, it's just like way less powerful because there's like no like big swing turn to be had now. And getting rid of the Artisan is actually annoying for him here because he can't get Monkey Dory and set it up with that Luminous he has. Okay, I think hitting your Charizard is like probably correct because you need to deal with this, especially with a stand.
Yeah, but I mean, there just wouldn't be this board, right? If he did that counter catcher one turn earlier, right? You're still wasting your counter catcher, but now you're down to Dusclops, and I'm at 5 prize cards anyway. So, yeah, it should have been a much easier game for Omar this one.
Yeah. I think he's still in actually a pretty decent spot from this board because like you need rare candy Zard this turn, or if he just gets Hawlucha or like Monkey, he can take it out if he wants to take out Charmander, and then you're kind of stuck. He already has Luminous. Yeah, she takes Counter Catcher. Yeah, like his board's like really established now, like with the double J cloaks. Another Luminous, nice. Arvin.
Yeah, and yeah, just gonna punch. I believe it's 60 to the Mander again here. Shouldn't be anything different from that.
Do you think for him, like, does it ever make sense to knock out the Charmander if you could, or you just think it's like not that big of a deal because a lot of your fires are already in play, so like rare candies are, it's not as powerful.
No, I think just 60 on the Mander here is probably better because if he had a chance to knock out, it's either with Ancient Lucha instead of the second Duskull, or Pop and Dusclops, which isn't that great.
Yeah. Actually, I think he might have prized his Monkey again this game, if I don't actually remember correctly.
I think he didn't prize game 1. I think it was this one.
Yeah, I mean, like putting 6 on Charmander, like you have to like get rare candy here pretty much. You want to save it now. Oh, I guess he technically hasn't played a supporter yet. Okay, so he went Cape plus Strike.
Also, not benching Cape here. I don't know, like I could boss, but that's just it's not good for me to boss like Badu and then leave you with Dusclops, Dusknoir board, because then I go down to 3 and then he can just go like Dusknoir, Dusclops, pop everything, Iono me to 1, and then I had no more boss left. And counter catcher because I'm down to 1. Right? So I think attaching Cape here is fine from him, and then he didn't do it.
Cape to Badu, right? Yeah. I guess yeah, because you're also at 5 prizes, so yeah, Badu like evens out your prizes for you. Alright, what did you see? Yeah, that's Rod, counter, I don't know what your last card is, but
fast. It's fast.
So basically not very good. So basically I think here you have to like just resign yourself that next turn you're probably losing all your Charizards. So what's going through your head here? Like how are you trying to get out of this?
Well, yeah, I was thinking like I know my boss is prized, so I need something that it's gonna make me a little bit safer. The million is prized as well, so just to roll here. I was debating on Cleffa because my hand is down to 2 cards. It's gonna go to more when I Turo, but Cleffa here seemed fine, but I also could have attacked with Pidgeot because I think if I attack with Cleffa and then now if he goes for the Dusknoir's countercatcher or Dusknoir's boss play, and then there's no damage on his Pult, it's gonna be really weak. It's gonna be like the same board as he if he did on that turn. So I needed to punch here, do a big damage on that Pult, put a little pressure on his board.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you gotta get the Charmeleon now. Yeah, I guess though if he has boss, you're just in trouble here. If he has, yeah, I guess because you can knock out both. So are you playing here just like being like, I hope he just doesn't have boss?
Oh, with this punch on Pult, if he has boss, like I'm debating, do I attack with Pidgeot, do I attack with Cleffa, right? And then I end up going with the Pidgeot. I need to attack with Pidgeot in case he has boss, right? And if he has boss, it's kind of fine because you're probably just like, it'll go down like 4-4, and then I can just like often bench fast and then just punch. If he goes for another Pult, I can punch. If he doesn't, I can just like knock this active with the Pidgeot. So this punch seems definitely correct.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, then for him here, what do you think his best play is? The way you played things.
I think with this punch, he should probably go. He could go Catcher the Million, pop Dusclops, get rid of both, and then he's still fine. But I think he should have done that with a fresh Pult. I don't know. I think he does that. I don't quite remember his play here. Yeah, just should attack with a fresh Pult for sure this turn.
Yeah, I guess
even if you're not popping.
Yeah, the thing for him here is what's it called? He knows that since you didn't Cleffa, your hand's probably pretty weak. Because you didn't do much last turn.
Okay. Yeah, so I remembered he pops counter catcher and then he does a pretty weak move, which is he kills Cleffa. Killing Cleffa here is really, really bad for him. It's really bad that he killed Cleffa. His thought process was like, okay, I'm not gonna leave damage in board, but then he just gave me counter catcher access, right? I was down a boss. I guess you could assume I don't have another boss since I didn't use last turn. Maybe if I do, like, I'm gonna boss KO, and then what I'm gonna have it's like just a Pidgeot in board. So KO in here is like it's really bad to kill in the KO. Just you can knock it out in a future turn, right? I don't play Cape, I don't play Charm, so that Turo is down. So Cleffa is staying in board, and he has double boss still left. So even if I push it to the active, it's really likely he has boss. So yeah, just put in 4 here in the Cleffa, and then my hand is like counter catcher, fast, pretty good to come back from this play.
I guess even then, like, yeah, he could have even gone Monkey next turn if he hits it off the prize, which I know he has like only it's a 1 in 3 to hit off the prize right now. But
yeah, and if he doesn't kill Cleffa, like my boss is prized here. So what I was gonna do, like just punch, bench double Mander, but then it's like you said, he can just go boss Halucha or boss Monk.
Yeah. The other reason I don't like this is because if you go like double Charmander next turn and he like didn't do this, he can even go like pop Dusclops and like counter catcher again if he has one more. I think he has one more left.
Yeah. I think he has. I don't think he has now because he Ultra Balled one.
Oh, that's right. He got rid of one earlier.
But,
yeah.
I mean, he still has balls, right? So it's gonna be the same thing. Yeah, just it's pretty big. Just giving me counter catcher access here. Something he should have not done for sure. Because now you see, like, I get the double Mander out. I counter catcher the Dusclops, and I don't bench Faz now because Faz is a liability. I just lose if he gets Hawlucha plus boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You haven't quick searched yet, right? Or have you?
Yeah. No, I quick search for it.
Oh, for the Iono.
Here, I think I misplayed because I didn't bench Gemin Tower. Right? I didn't bench Gemin Tower, and then it kind of punishes me. But the thing is, like, not benching Gemin Tower is fine because I have max belt still left. So if he attacks with the fresh boot, I max belt. But the problem here is like, if he gets the Luxcape, I'm definitely losing. I need like a whole bunch of cards because I need like counter catcher, and he'll probably Iono. I need Charizard and a bunch of stuff. So I needed that Jimmy Tower as an extra piece if he gets that Luxcape onto the Badu.
Like you would have put it into play ahead of time just so you can just knock out Biddy with Monkey Door.
Yeah, because like it does stop my max belt, but there is a damaged pool, so I only need counter catcher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if I drew a boss from prizes as well.
I don't think you did, but we'll see, I guess, next time. You see your hand. How do you feel about like the Hawlucha here to take out one of the Charmanders? Like, is that worth it?
I mean, it could like prevent him from a Candy Million play and the setup for him to win next turn, but it's just I don't like it because he did hit Luxcape off this Iono. If he doesn't hit it, I 100% win this game. Because now that he killed me, he gave me again the counter catcher access.
Yeah,
right?
and Fez,
So
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just go like Monkey the Badu after I counter catcher, and then I can rare candy Zard. So I think it's definitely like unlucky turn for him. Finding that Luxcape off an Iono for 3. And I draw off the Iono Arven, Zard, Energy. So I have Candy Max Belt. I can quick search for the Jimmy Tower, move off to the Badu 30, but the Jimmy Tower stops my max belt. So I'm one card off winning because I can only search out Candy. I need like 3 cards. Candy, Catcher, Jimmy Tower. So if I did put the Jimmy Tower in play last turn, I would have win.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it's kind of also a punish for me that he drew the Luxcape. But I mean, I couldn't really prevent what he would have done, right? So max belt could be okay, and it is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna KO him with max belt. In his discard, there's double fire, double stretcher. There's also a Luminos attached to his pool, so he needs boss Luminos in a 3-card hand, and he's down like a bunch of outs, right? So it's still like a fine position for me here. But I go for the Arven, Candy Zard, max belt. So 1 card off winning. I could quick search for Fez and like hopefully I'll draw hopefully I draw the 2 pieces, but it's really unlikely, right? So it's more likely that he whiffs here than I draw the 2 cards off the Fez.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's a good way of analyzing it, because a lot of time people, like, I see them, they try and go for like the home run win, but like you have to be like, what are my odds of actually hitting, and then what are the odds of my opponent whiffing? And I think I agree with your assessment that the odds of him whiffing are greater than you hitting for sure.
It was like double 1-offs in that because Jimmy Tower catcher, right? So 1 catcher was already down. The odds of me hitting are like really, really low.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think just hitting and hoping you get the stick is probably the best. And yeah, you put on Badu just so if you draw a jamming tower next time you just win, right? So yeah, makes sense.
And then he gets
Hits
boss
boss.
off the cloak. Yeah.
Energy boss. I mean, like, yeah, you can't really do
Mhm.
anything about that. I mean,
So now the judges tell me like 8 minutes left. So my plan going into this was like I need to be turn one. Like depending on how the board state is. Like I could play slower, like not slow play, but play a little bit slower, just so like it ends up in a board where he doesn't have his attacker ready and it's going his turn 0, so he only has one turn to attack.
yeah. I think that's a nuance. I think a lot of players like don't really know how like time rules work. Probably for most people, the most common scenario that will happen is like a League Cup, where you play with like the time rules. But I don't know if you watched the Masters finals, but I think Riley could have actually won if he would have played a bit quicker on his turn and made Isaiah turn 0. So.
I talked to both of them in the backstage, Riley and Isaiah. Like we were debating what Riley could have done there, and I said like he just needed to play quicker, right? If it was turn 0, he probably would have won that. If it was turn, I don't really remember. I mean, if he just had like, attacked a little bit quicker, I mean, Isaiah would have waited to promote the Pokemon and draw the card. But like, if it was like 20 seconds before, like he would have been like, I think Isaiah was going to be turn 0,
yeah,
right? And then that's plus one turn he had off attacking to draw a prize card.
yeah. So it's definitely a really important thing to keep in mind, like when you're playing like a top cut scenario is like not even like the turns thing, but like it's just like that you're not gonna finish the whole game. So like instead of like thinking of the game as like I'm playing to take all 6 of my prizes, you're probably playing the game to take like 3 or 4 of them. It changes like a lot when you get to a situation like this. So and if there's like no time on the clock, you're literally playing to take like 1 or
2. Exactly.
I mean, his start's actually pretty good for going first. Like the energy,
yeah.
like that's like a perfect setup like that you want to get when you go second. So
my hand wasn't really good. I didn't have Arvin, didn't have Evo, so that's also really bad because I'm not getting a prize card next turn. So he can set up his Dracloaks, and then he's more ready. Like his board is better going into that 3 turns.
Yeah. You put Cleffa down, which I'm sure is like really scary to put down in this situation because you know where the game's heading.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like one of those things where like you just kind of have to do it, type of thing.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess he has Bidoof,
Yeah,
so you guys both have like one Pokemon you don't want to have. So.
I didn't want to bench Cleffa there. Of course, it's a liability, but sometimes it's that you have to. I had like 2 cards in hand, and they were pretty bad, so needed to go with that Gasping draw.
Because I guess, yeah, he's going to Itchy Pollen you, so then you can't play Rare Candy next turn. So I guess if Omar wants, he is going to be the person who takes the first prize. Yeah. So were you worried in this position? Like, because like I feel like actually now I'd say Omar's favored, like with the way the game is set up.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely Omar's favorite here.
And you prize Max Belt actually too, so you can't even like knock out. I mean, he doesn't know that obviously, but yeah, you can't even knock out the Dragon.
I think that's also a misplay. Ultra Ball Deluxe Game.
Yeah. You should have kept it for the
Deluxe Game. No, I think he should have attached to the cloak here with the energy, because then my Zard can't knock it out.
Oh, if he doesn't take a prize.
I mean, I could Monkey, but with Itchy Pollen, I don't have a ton in my board. It's really hard for me to get like boss attachment to the Monkey and everything I need. So I think should have attached that Luckscape to the cloak.
You think you're attached to cloak and then like wait and play slow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even though you're probably gonna evolve next turn, there is a chance you don't, right? So I think just like there's probably a card that he didn't even get to use this game that's in his hand.
That makes sense. So I guess here, like, how worried are you about getting like Dusknoir counter catcher, like having all your guys getting like wiped off the board? Because that's why you go for double Charmander, right?
Yeah, exactly. They get lucky on drawing like Pidgeot, Charmander, and Brock, but I had a ton of outs there. My turn one wasn't really good, so now my board is like I bench Charmander to draw +1. Because I knew my max belt was prized, right? So there wasn't really anything that Jimmy-Tar was gonna stop.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think Omar could make a read that you prized max belt because you put jamming in play, or do you think that's like just too next level?
I think he could make a read, but he could also like think, I have doubles on in my list, right? I have double artists on, so I could just bump it anytime. I did have it in hand as well, so I mean, it could have a read of that. I don't think it's gonna matter though, because it's down to 2 minutes, right? So he's probably not gonna take that many prize cards for the max belt to be a thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cloaks, and then it's good for me that he didn't find any energy.
Yeah, this is a huge whiff, not being able to attack this turn. So I mean, when it goes to your turn, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, another thing here, like, okay, you didn't attach Luxcake, now you just evolved to Poot. You should have just, instead of this cloak or the Dusknoir, just evolve the cloak with energy into Dragapult, even though you're not going to attack. And he could still have went like Jet had, but just take one prize card.
I guess because now if you have Charizard, and Pidgeot, you just go boss plus Charizard, which you have. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a similar, like, sometimes you play Mirror Match with Dragapult, or you have to evolve so you don't get, like, Dusknoir plus Phantom Dive, or against Gardevoir even.
Yeah.
So, do you think that maybe, like, he should have gone Dragapult, and would you have still picked Dusknoir as a second Pokemon, or would you have picked Dracloak for next turn still?
It kind of depends on his hand. I know his hand's a little bit weak. It's probably, like, Counter Catcher, Cloak, Fest. It's good to have that Dusknoir ready. I think Dusknoir, I think it's a keep. Even though, like, you're evolving into Poot if you get it instead of the Cloak, your hand is already not that great, but he did have Fez. And you know I'm getting a knockout, because if I don't get a knockout, you're just like, you're fine. You don't need anything, you can just wait. So I think it's probably the Cloak instead of the Dusknoir. Just switch the Cloak with the Poot from the Jack.
Yeah. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. Because, yeah, even with, like, max belt, there's no knockouts coming. Okay, so here, there's, like, a minute and a half left on the clock. So I feel like, yeah, like, you definitely want to attack, like, around the 30-second mark. Like, obviously, I'm sure you don't know exactly how much time is left, but I'm sure, like, on this turn,
but
you
yeah,
gotta feel.
That's what I did. I actually asked the judge how much time is left, and then he said 40 seconds. So I waited on like 10 seconds and then punch. I believe that's how it went. Like, I wanted to attack exactly at the 30 seconds mark.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like reasonable pace to play this turn. Like, you didn't do anything unnatural either. Because now it's hard for Omar, because, like, even if he I'm sure, well, you asked, so he knows how much time is left. But, like, I just don't know if it's possible for him to, like, do everything he needs to do in 30 seconds and like, get the...
Yeah, and I mean, he started playing fast, but I think the minimum he was going to be, like, time left was going to be 10, and then I was going to do what, like, I talked to Isaiah, right? Just wait 10 seconds to promote and draw a card, but I don't think it's possible to play that big of a turn in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there wasn't enough time left for him to do everything he needed to do. He would have had to, like, at some point, like, stopped and just been like, all right, it's you, Pollen. Like,
yeah.
But then, like, he's not developing his board, and then he gets kind of stuck. I think what he's going for here is, like, reasonable, like the unfair stamp play. Like, it forces you to waste your quick search on energy if you don't draw anything good.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, here, if he drew the energy, I was probably still losing. If he had, like, big of a play, I was thinking, like, if he goes Dusknoir, Pidgeot, and then Hawlucha, my Mander, we're going both to 3 prize cards. And then he can Iono me. I'm not going to have a Pidgeot setup. So I would need to draw boss out of an Iono for 3. And Jamming Tower is in play, so Max Belt isn't going to save me. But he didn't draw the energy, so didn't draw the energy here, I just knew it was impossible for him to win this game.
Yeah, so now it's basically just like don't mess up.
Yeah. Just like play chill. No more time left.
Yeah, it's always funny when like you're up against the clock because you're playing super fast, and as soon as turns gets called, it's like, all right, now it's you can take your time.
Chill out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Quick search for the Turo. Okay.
And just remove that Cleffa. I don't really know if I should have done that. I could have just like moved the 30 damage from the 20 from the Cleffa. Also should have moved to the Dragapult. Because if he attaches energy to a monk, it isn't gonna do anything. So like maybe quick search to boss, and then just keep it in hand.
Okay. Now you're up 2. So if he goes Dusknoir knockout, he's still down 1. You could like Halucha.
There's no way he
yeah.
wins.
Because I guess at least one Charmander survives.
Yeah, because Dusknoir gives me a prize card, right? So he can trade 1 to 1. If he, it's like I said, if he had energy, it could have just went Dusknoir, Dusclops. What he could have went, it's like Dusknoir, my Zard. No, that doesn't work. Just Dusknoir, Pidgeot, Countercatcher, Lucha, Mander, and Pidgeot. And then he's gonna take KO the Pidgeot and then kill the Mander and bench. And then he's gonna take 3. I'm gonna be at 3 prize cards as well. So no Countercatcher access, 1 boss at the discard. There's no Luminion more in the format, so
yeah.
you can't really search the boss. It's just gonna have like a raw draw. So I think that was the play if he had energy, but since he didn't, it's just like it's game over.
Yeah, I guess No, like I was actually really unlucky that he just like didn't have energy this game, but I guess he could have evolved earlier, like you were saying.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's basically a punish, right? For not evolving and not keeping that Luxcape around.
I guess he's still playing all his cards, trying to figure out if there's an out.
I mean, he had Luna, but not really much he can do with.
Yeah, to activate that, he has to get you down to 2.
Yeah.
So
and then I just knock him out, right?
Yeah.
Just knock out the Luna.
Well, I don't even think he could, because he'd have to go double Dusknoir to get you down to 2, and he could knock out like Charmander, and like he could take 3.
Yeah,
he can't. He can't
even do anything. Yeah.
And
now I knew. I just wanted to finish it off with a boss there, just
in case you miscounted your prizes or something. Yeah, I always do this. I just make sure that I get that. So yeah. That must have felt crazy winning that one there. Like the third I see. How much pressure do you feel? Did you feel extra pressure playing this match compared to any of the other matches you've played this year?
I think so. I think like if I lost that one, it was like the American people could have just said like, "You didn't win here, you didn't win here." So, I mean, yeah, that was like to top it off the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I know you're a great player, but I think in Masters it's like very, very difficult to ever get to the position to win all.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's like, probably not gonna happen, right? Card got closed once.
Yeah.
Doing that, but it was also like smaller events, not 4,000 people playing.
Yeah. So like in the moment, is that what you were thinking about? Is like, wow, like I actually won all 3? Or did it take a moment for you to like sit back, like reflect, and like,
yeah,
like damn, I have all 3?
After a win, I'm always like, it's always like a relief feeling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then after like 5 minutes, it definitely comes to the mind like, whoa, 3 ICs, you know.
Yeah. That's sick. Well, I mean, that's such an amazing accomplishment, man. Like, again, like, congratulations on that. I think everyone's excited to watch you this summer at Worlds and Masters next year for sure. So do you have what are your goals for yourself as you go to Masters next year?
So my brother won 2 regionals and 2 master seasons. I want to win 3. I just want to. I mean, I know it's gonna be hard, right? But it's possible. But really, the goal is like just win 1 event at least in the first season. I want to win at least like a regional. Would be great. If it doesn't happen, like it's fine. I also don't want to be like, because there's a lot of pressure coming into the first Masters tournament, right? It's gonna be a regionals in September, I believe, here in Brazil. So I also don't want to like do bad and people are gonna be saying, "Oh, he's only getting seniors."
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people would say that happened, but like, yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I feel like you're so young, right? There's like all these expectations being put on you, right? And you're just like, yeah, like trying to play Pokemon. But I'm sure you'll transition to Masters like well, even if it takes like a couple tournaments to get used to it, type of thing. But I always say like the jump from seniors to Masters is like it's not as hard as going juniors to seniors. So I think like you with seniors, like there's so many less of you guys. Like you play against the best kids like more often. And the Masters is so large, right? Where it's like the top players at Masters are definitely better, but like in the average opponent at a regional or like an IC is like probably like similar to what you're used to in seniors almost. So I don't think you're gonna have any trouble at all. So yeah. Cool. Okay, well, do you want to plug anything? I know you do a bunch of Metafy stuff. You can shout out whatever you want. Floor is yours.
Yeah, so I have my Twitter, it's Gabriel Fernandez, if you want to go check it out. And there's my Metafy link in there as well. So I don't do 1v1 coaching anymore. It's just guides in Metafy, and there are also subscription tiers there. It's really cool. I post tier lists before majors, and I also do a weekly video talking about how the meta is shaping up and how it's gonna be at the next major.
Nice.
Yeah, so check it out.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description below. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone watching. And again, thanks for coming on and sharing all your insight.